When does it come out?
Ooh, I don't know. I've never even heard about it until this weekend.
Whoa, August 27th. Wow, we saw that one early, huh?
Yep.
We were lucky enough to see an advanced screening of The Last Exorcism at Comic-Con, and to be honest with you, from the trailers, I was not expecting much at all. I showed you the trailer before we saw it. What did you think?
Well, I love movies about exorcism, and I told them that that's enough for me to go see it.
However,
it didn't look like it.
The trailer is pretty terrible. Like, it's a really bad trailer, actually. So I guess it's good because I went in with pretty low expectations, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. I mean, it wasn't amazing.
I don't know if I'd use that phrase.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was great or anything, but it was better than I was expecting, for sure. Definitely better than I was expecting. Pretty spooky. I would recommend seeing it if you're into just, just a fun, scary time at the movies. But don't expect too much more than that. It's like a one-time thing. I'm not going to see it again. But I would go with friends, and it was fun.
There's a lot of parts that were commercial.
Cliched, campy,
yeah.
Not campy, actually. Cliched, it actually was the right word.
It didn't look like it was very well researched.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like it was one of those movies made for money that just happened, but it actually happened to be better than the common, crummy Hollywood movie, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it was better than I was expecting. Enjoyable. I jumped a few times. I was scared a few times.
Oh yeah, there's a few moments where I felt like covering my eyes.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as the scares go, the techniques used to scare us, they were
pretty good.
They were very effective.
Definitely. Now, how would you compare it to Paranormal Activity? Just because they're both kind of possession stories filmed in non-conventional ways.
Well, the style was used the same way in documentary fashion.
More Blair Witch though than Paranormal.
More Blair Witchy. But what I didn't like was that there's several moments that took you out of that real
because
like the exterior shots.
And the music.
Yeah, they added in music. It was like it was edited, which
that was the two problems with it. There was scary music in some spots, which totally took away from like the the found footage aspect of it, which is what it was kind of supposed to be. It's like, imagine if it was supposed to be real. Like it was. Not that they were pretending it was real like they did with Blair Witch, but it was filmed in a style that would mean to be as if they found the footage and showed it to you. Mm-hmm. Who would throw music over that? Paranormal Activity didn't have music over it. But speaking of Last Exorcism specifically, the music totally took me out of it. And then, like you said, I pointed out, of course, I mean, I'm sure only filmmakers would notice this, and like maybe editors, I don't know if you noticed it specifically, but the establishing shots, after a while, the things that were happening to them, who would go out and film an establishing shot? You know what I mean? Like, after a while, the documentary aspect is gone, and it seemed to be more like they were shooting just because they wanted to document what was happening to them, more so than, make their documentary. Some crazy stuff was going on. Yet the camera guy's out there filming establishing shots still, and that was kind of stupid to me.
Well, another big difference is that the camera was a character in Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
Whereas in this movie, the cameraman is the character, not so much the camera.
Exactly. Because in Paranormal Activity, the camera is us. Mm-hmm. In this, we are just, the cameraman is sort of us, so it was different. And going along with the stuff that was taking you away from it a little bit, that was kind of dumb, that was not realistic. The camera glitches, you remember? There was camera glitches. First of all, it's in 2010, they were most likely using a digital camera, not a tape camera, and those were tape glitches, so that was stupid. No one would ever really think of that unless you are into film and stuff like that,
I didn't think of it.
Yeah, and the other thing is when it cuts to black, they turn off the camera and it cuts to black, and it goes like doo-doo, and cuts to black. What would happen is, and like in Cloverfield did it perfectly, and Blair Witch actually, it just cuts to the next thing that you shoot. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't cut to black, it would just cut to whatever the next thing you start shooting is. So stupid things like that kind of like took away from the movie for me. But again, maybe it's just because I'm into the behind the scenes stuff and I'm into film that maybe I noticed it and no one else would. So, I don't know. But it's kind of stupid. And the last thing that bugged me about the movie is the hallway scene. That was a total rip-off of REC. That's all I have to say about it. That really bugged me. I saw it in the trailer and I was like, are you kidding me? And then I saw it in the movie. It was just a total rip-off and it kind of annoyed me. But whatever. So overall, though, aside from the things that kind of annoyed us, overall, I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy it? Yeah?
Yeah.
I would say go see it with friends, definitely. It's a fun movie, it's a scary movie, if you're into like jumping and stuff like that and like, almost covering your eyes. It was fun, definitely. It didn't horrify me, scared you more than it scared me, I think, just because you said you're more scared by possession stories. But I was scared during the movie. Afterwards, I wasn't thinking about it. So other than that, it was a good movie. It was a fun movie. So gets a thumbs up from me. Now we're going to talk about some spoilerish stuff. So if you have not seen The Last Exorcism, please don't watch the rest of this video. Go see it first, and then you can come back and watch the rest. So at this point, hopefully nobody that hasn't seen The Last Exorcism is watching. You have the floor.
Okay. A big dispute that we had a couple of us after we saw the movie was whether or not she was actually possessed.
And I hope that the filmmakers intend for that to be the discussion. I get the feeling, now that I think about it, I get the feeling that they really don't, they don't care as much as we might think. Because, like, there was a lot of commercial things to it and a lot of stupid things that it makes me think that they might not have put that much thought into it. As much thought as we did, but we did think about it quite a bit.
You know, to tell you the truth, that would explain some of the
goofy stuff.
The cliche stuff that was painted on the walls, like the 666.
Yeah, I mean, I'm alright with, like, a pentagram and stuff like that being painted on the walls, but 666 being painted on the wall, that was stupid.
A little hokey.
That's stupid. That's like writing, like, you know, like, Hail Satan on the wall.
Yeah, but
they wouldn't write
that's something a psychotic would do.
Yeah, like someone, like a real demon, they would draw pentagrams and crazy stuff like that, which was there, but then it was like 666. That was corny. So it might have just been that it was really corny, or they might have actually intended for us to really have this discussion, and our discussion is whether or not she was actually possessed. There are things that lead to her, yes, she was possessed, and no, she was not. One is, you know, the blowing job thing. Mm-hmm. That's one. Well, the 666, and they pointed that out, of course.
Yeah.
The 666, that's another one. What was another one that led to it not being possession? Can't remember.
Just basically, like if you've seen The Exorcist, there's a lot of things like you know, objects being thrown across the room.
That prove that it is a supernatural thing.
But there's nothing like that in this one.
And I don't remember. I don't know if the baby, you know, like if that baby looked human. Did it? I don't remember.
It looked human. It looked
because in the movie somebody said that it didn't look human. Like in the movie that like behind the camera. So I don't remember. So I mean, as long as it looked human, I don't know. Mm-hmm. You know, the kid that she claimed to be pregnant from was gay.
Yeah.
So there are things that...
how did she get pregnant?
Yeah, there are things that... Maybe it was the dad. We don't know, right? Also, the cat did not freak out when she attacked it.
And traditionally, animals have that...
Freak out. If there's a ghost or a demon or something around, animals have that sense, and they freak the hell out. In movies, at least, you know, for sure. They always do. It's traditional. So the cat didn't freak out at all. It didn't, right?
It could have ran away.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
It was cornered, but, you know, cats are very agile things.
And it didn't hiss or anything, so that's another thing that leads to me thinking that maybe it wasn't possessed. Maybe she wasn't possessed, I mean. The cat might have been possessed. I don't know. There are things that lead to it being that she was possessed or that she wasn't possessed. It's really, I actually like that it, you know, provides a discussion, and I just hope that the filmmakers had that in mind when they made it, but I don't know.
Well, that was the subject of the movie. The subject is, you know, this guy's trying to prove that exorcisms are fake, and he's going to prove that by performing a fake exorcism on a girl who thinks she's possessed.
And then it just, kind of like gets out of control a little bit. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of things that lead to her, yes, being possessed, and maybe the filmmakers would say, no, dude, she was possessed. There was not supposed to be a discussion, you know? I like to think that they thought more into it, but and maybe there is something there that makes it definitely that it was possession that we're not thinking of. You know, like something that comes to mind is how she found his motel room, how she got there, different things like that. You could explain it, but
she might have hopped in the back of the trunk.
Yeah, or maybe like they brought her there. Maybe like the brother was in on it, you know, because remember the brother was in at the end. He was in on something. Definitely all kinds of weird stuff. I think that there's a discussion there. There's definitely an argument there. And like I said, I hope that the argument is valid and you know, we're not just thinking way too into it. But maybe that's because, you know, we expect more from movies and, you know, I don't know. So, whatever. It was good. I enjoyed it. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments what you thought of The Last Exorcism. Let me know what you think happened. You know, please put a spoiler alert in the comments if you're going to talk about anything like that. Let us know if you thought she was possessed or if you thought she was faking it. And, you know, maybe give us reasons. I don't know. And that's pretty much it. Possession.